Hi there, this is Rob, back with your 2-minute overnight overview. If Dave Landry can do the market in 1 minute, then I can do the overnight in 2. So let's go. Here's a shot of Monday afternoon's odds sheet. My main trading vehicle is ES, so that's where I normally look to see a sizable edge if I'm going to take a trade. Monday's data was highly conflicting. Price action strongly suggested a gap down, internal strongly suggested a gap up, and seasonality was mildly negative. This all averaged out to nearly break-even odds, and all the futures were similarly close to break-even. Interestingly, the ETFs, which closed 15 minutes earlier than the futures, mostly suggested decent odds for a gap up. DII and QQQ posted strong enough numbers that they would have qualified for an overnight long position using the overnight edge's standard parameters. And SPY just barely missed with a profit factor of 1.24 coming in just below my required 1.3. So I did not take an overnight position, but let's see how it played out. The purple horizontal line here shows yesterday's settlement price of 1402.5, which incidentally is the same as Monday's close. It was the 7th day in a row that ES closed at a 50-day high. If it manages to do it again today, it'll be the first time in the last 15 years that ES has closed at a 50-day high 8 days in a row. We had a little pop during the Asian session, a lot of wiggle, and then another little pop after the retail sales report came in positive around 8:30 a.m. In the end, indices all gave a moderate gap higher Tuesday morning. So let's look at a setup that may trigger today. After closing at a 50-day high on Friday, SPY just finished below it on Monday. This morning's gap up didn't quite fill, and things are currently looking higher. I looked at other instances where a 50-day high was followed by a down close and then an unfilled gap up to a new 50-day closing high. This setup has occurred 16 times since the year 2000. Only 3 were followed by a gap up the next day. 13 were followed by a gap down. Here's the list of instances, assuming $100,000 per trade. As you can see, 12 of the last 13 have led to a gap down the next morning. So if we close at a 50-day high again today without filling that morning gap, this would seem to suggest a possible downside edge. Of course, I'll want this study to confirm with the odds sheets before I would consider taking a position.